Hello everyone. Today we'll discuss the second topic from Unit 3, that is 3.2. The topic is the mechanism of respiration. Before discussing the mechanism of respiration, we must know the respiratory system. So, we will study the respiratory system and then mechanism of respiration. If you observe the structure of the respiratory system, is the air, it comes inside by the nostril, and these are the airways, that is the trachea, then then trachea, then bronchi, and then bronchioles, and last one is what? Alveoli and the lungs. And this one is a diaphragm. So, what this human respiratory system comprises of. The respiratory system, it is also called as ventilatory system, and it is used for the process of respiration. The respiratory system is involved in the exchange of gases, mainly the oxygen and CO2, between an organism and the free environment and the environment. In air breathing vertebrates like human beings, respiration takes place in the respiratory organ, and this organ is the lungs. The passage of air into the lungs to supply the body with oxygen is called as inhalation, means taking in the air through the respiratory system, that is inhalation, and the passage of air out of the lungs to expel the carbon dioxide is known as exhalation. And this inhalation and the exhalation process, it is collectively called as breathing, or it is also called as a ventilation. In humans and other mammals, the anatomical features of respiratory system, it includes the trachea, then bronchi, then bronchioles, then lungs and the diaphragm. The molecules of oxygen and CO2 are passively exchanged by diffusion between the gaseous external environment and the blood. This exchange process occurs in the alveoli, air sacs in the lungs. These are the part of the respiratory system that the air is taken inside by this nasal cavity, and then it reaches to the pharynx and then the larynx. Then this one is a trachea, and this trachea leads to the bronchi, and these bronchi then divided into the what? These branches into the bronchioles, and the last one, which is a respiratory unit, is the alveoli, and this alveoli, it forms a lungs. So this is the what are the different anatomical parts which are comprises in the respiratory system, and the important part, that is the what? The diaphragm, which separates this respiratory cavity from the abdominal one. This is the respiratory system that shows the trachea part, and after this trachea, it bifurcates into the what? The bronchi, and after these bronchi, these are the bronchioles, and these bulb-shaped structures, these are the alveoli. This is the left part, and this is the right part, and below that, which separates this part from the abdominal part, is the structure, and that we called it as a diaphragm. Then the rest parts and the functions of the respiratory system. The respiratory system extends from nostril to the lungs. First is a nostril, the opening through which the air enters the body. And there are minute hairs and mucosa in the nostril. They prevent the entry of dust and harmful germs into the lungs. Then the second part, that is nasal cavity, the chamber following the nostrils. It opens into the pharynx. Third part is the epiglottis. The esophagus and trachea start at the pharynx, a common passage for food and air, so there is a chance for food to enter the trachea. It is the epiglottis that prevents this. Then the third next part is the trachea. It starts at the pharynx and it is made up of incomplete rings of cartilage, and there are cilia and mucus in this. Next to this, that is the bronchi and the two branches of the trachea that each open into the lungs on each side. These and last to this or next to these bronchi now branches to the bronchioles and the at last that is the alveoli. The lungs, the two lungs found on either side of the heart in the thoracic cavity, and these are soft, spongy, elastic air bags. The lungs are lobular organ. The right lungs had three lobes and the left it having the two lobes. The branching network of bronchi, the bronchioles and alveoli, it constitutes or it forms the lungs. The pleura is a double membrane covering the lung, and there is a fluid between these membranes. This fluid reduces the friction when the lungs contract and relax. Then the bronchioles are the branches of the bronchi and carry air into the last part, that is the alveoli. And the alveoli, each bronchiole ends in a group of alveoli. These are the functional units of the respiratory system. The lungs is made up of alveoli and there are blood capillaries covering the alveoli. Exchange of gases takes place at this part or the alveoli, and the alveoli increase the surface area of the lungs, and that thus making exchange of gases efficient. And the last part is the diaphragm. It is the largest muscle of the body which helps in the respiration. So the respiratory system, it includes the nostril, then nasal cavity, then pharynx, then the trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and the alveoli. So this is the anatomical uh, anatomical features of the respiratory system in the human being.